In this video, I'm gonna spend about 6 minutes talking about survival mode. I'm gonna talk about what I believe it is. I'm gonna talk about the effect that it has on us. And I'm also gonna talk about what it feels like, or the idea and the reason why I feel like we must escape it before we try to go for wealth. If that's not something you wanna hear, if I was you, I would click out of the video. Also, I'll be running my heels because I still gotta finish my workout while I'm doing this video. So give me a second. Okay, so survival's mode, what it is. Well, first, I think it's easier for me to tell you what I think it's not. I don't think survival mode is poverty. I don't necessarily think it's about not having money. Survival's mode is more of this, it's a state of mind, right? It's like this infection or a disease almost, right? Because, and I say that because it hinders you from any way of getting better. Me and my fiance come from two completely different backgrounds. I come from poverty, and she comes from an amazing family that I'm so blessed to know and be a part of now. And because of that, I have a little insight, and I've experienced a lot of things that maybe I necessarily shouldn't have experienced, but I did. And I was telling her that despite the things that I've seen, despite the times I felt like my life was in danger, despite the times I felt like, things were going to end, no matter what I've went through, there's no worse feeling than a person being in survival mode. And the worst part is that it's extremely hard to actually escape it. Here's what I mean. Actually, wait a minute. So, when you're in survival mode, it can be tough. Versus being poor. When you're poor, it's difficult, but there's a difference. Hold on. All right, I feel like I need to clear it up. Listen. Okay, so being poor or living in poverty can definitely be a form, or if not the root cause, of survival mode. But again, I said it's a state of mind. And so when you're poor or you don't have money, right? You're in poverty. As long as you don't develop the mindset that there is not an infinite amount of opportunity or resources for you to pull out of your situation, right? Then you can almost avoid the mindset of living in survival mode. Growing up, we had a lot of times when we were poor, we were broke, we were living in poverty, right? No lights, no water, sometimes no home, things just got rough. But I'd be lying if I said that there weren't moments when it felt like things were gonna skyrocket, like we were gonna take off. And in those moments that we had that opportunity, maybe my dad's business was doing great, or everything just seemed to align for us. But like clockwork, after a certain amount of time, the cycle started back over and we found ourselves back in poverty or back struggling again. Not because things outwardly stopped going our way, but because we couldn't on the inside get ourselves and our minds in a place to allow us to keep moving forward. But here's where it gets deep. Wait a minute. I think it's very, very important for you to get out of survival mode. I think it's important before you start your journey to building wealth. And I'm only saying that now because of where I'm at in my journey. Now, I'm not saying that I've reached my destination. To be honest with you, if you ask me, I'm nowhere near close to my destination. But there are little things and little wins that I've been able to have along the way, including my relationship, that has allowed me to just slightly peak out and get just slightly above that mentality and that mindset, and been around people that have it. And here's some of the things I noticed. Number one, my fiance always laughs at me because the things that I get to enjoy now, I get so excited about. Simple stuff, right? And it makes me sound like I was a lot poorer than what I was, but that's not necessarily it. Something like a pair of polarized sunglasses. Funny, but the reality is that I never had a pair of polarized sunglasses. These cost me a couple dollars, right? It's not that I never could afford it, but because my mind was always something's chasing me, because my mind was always, I got to think about my next meal. When I needed glasses, as long as they blocked the sun, that made a difference. Or what I'm finding is in my neighborhood, in my environment, whenever I take a walk, when I don't have that burden on my back of what's going on, I don't have that burden on my back of like, life's going to collapse right now. I find myself driving or walking or running, and I'm just enjoying how green the trees are. I'm enjoying how green the grass is, or how well a lawn is kept. It sounds ridiculous, I know. but it's not. I promise you it's not. Hold on. Here's the thing about survival mode. Survival mode will rob you of so much, right? A lot of the times you'll see somebody doing certain habits or approaching a situation a certain type of way. And for me, I can clearly see that there's a mindset behind that, right? But the people in my environment now may not necessarily see that. And so they'll wonder, well, why don't you just do this? Why don't they just not spend it? Why don't they just get it together? Why are you shopping at this store? Why are you buying this thing? At first it used to piss me off. But then what I realized is that if you've never experienced it, then you don't know that in survival mode, I'm not thinking about next year. In survival mode, I'm not thinking about if I buy this at Costco, then I'll save $3. That $3 ain't worth it. I got $10 and I got to make it stretch. Or let me spend more time doing this or just not eat that. I'm only trying to do the thing that benefits me right now. And that's the biggest unlock. When you're in survival mode, your life is very momentarily, it's very much in front of you. You're unable to think further. Here's what I'm saying. When you're in survival mode, it can be tough. And I heard this good quote that said that the people that are successful and the people that are not successful have the same goals and the same amount of fear. So it's not that when you're in survival mode, you don't want more, or you don't want to do better, or you don't want to stop whatever habits you have. It's just that you're trying to climb uphill to reach a goal with the weight of a mentality pulling you back down. And so you're stuck in this in between. But the only way for you to actually make that climb is you're going to have to take off that weight, get it together, build a foundation, get yourself out of survival mode, one habit at a time, one thing at a time. And for me, what I'm learning is that it's going to allow you to start seeing things differently. A lot of the things that when I was growing up, we looked at people and thought they were foolish. Like some of us are actually struggling. How do you have time to care about what the trees look like? Listen, if you made it this far, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you for watching my video. I guess I could have added like some data or whatever, but the reality is that I'm just speaking from the heart. And hopefully this lands with you. If not, maybe I'll try again later. But this is my video, my workouts, my habits, my disciplines. Also, the reason why I'm running hills right now, I've already did my walk, I've already worked out. Now I'm running hills. It's because it's tough. It's difficult. It's a steep hill. It's insane. It's crazy. It's hard, but it's allowing me to stretch myself a little more. It's allowing me to start the day off and get another win. Because I'm realizing too, here's a bonus, that constantly doing things that are hard, but achieving them at the same time, that's the key, you gotta achieve them. That allows you to grow. Like that builds this sort of like self-trust. And what I'm realizing is that when you build self-trust, your confidence grows, your ability to achieve whatever goal you have, it also grows. And then you just become more successful, you become more like fierce and like a monster about it. So that's what I'm doing. Again, vulnerable. Maybe it wasn't packed filled. Maybe, maybe it was. Who knows? I just hope that you connected with it. Like and subscribe or click the link in my bio to subscribe to my newsletter.